The secret to getting out of where you are is progress. It's just taking action. So I listened to this a couple of weeks ago and I thought, okay, I'm not going to travel in time and think, oh, what if this happens? Or go back in time and go, I wish this didn't happen. So I don't know if any of you feel that. I call that time travel, where you think, what if it doesn't happen? What if I employ this girl and she doesn't work, right? Or you think, oh, I shouldn't have employed that girl, right? So hands up if we've time traveled at all. Anyone time travel? Yep, guilty. Time travel, we're all time travelers. And how he says that doesn't help you. And so it's almost like a one day at a time. You know, alcoholics teach them to not drink just today. Don't think about not drinking forever. I'm just not going to drink with you today, right? So this theory is very similar, that you can only work on today. And if we make progress, we feel good, as little as it is. And that's the dopamine hit, right? And that's why when we write a list of the things we're going to do, write this, write that, and you cross them off, you go, well, that's good. And you get this bing. And so that's a dopamine hit that you earned. It's very different to one that you're watching, you know, on social media. You go, oh, that's cute, or that's funny, or I got likes, or that was shared, or that's an external. When you do something for yourself and you move the needle a little bit, that's an internal one. And that's the endorphins that make you feel like you're on track, you're making progress. And so he talks about this really profoundly, and he says, just do these things, right? And it's really about making progress. And it's helped me to understand how I can help you better. Because if I get you to do these little things, don't worry about what you don't know. And I had this conversation with one of you the other day about the unconsciousness. When you come to me, you are unconscious about the things that you are incompetent about, right? So in other words, you don't know what you don't know, right? So you come to me and you think, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I don't know. And so it's quite like you have to have a bit of a belief. You think, I think this chick's going to help me. That's why you're here. Something drew you to me, because there's many, many people in the world that can help you, right? Your partners, your friends, other coaches, lots of people can help you, but something drew you to me. So for a lot of you, it's like, yeah, I think she'll tell it how it is. I think she's got this wisdom about her, or whatever it is for you. Doesn't matter, but you're drawn here. So you have this belief that this could be it. Now, the difference is you have to apply it. You have to make it work, right? Because if you purchase the package and you do nothing, or you watch things and you're actually nothing will change. That's the truth, right? It's like when you ask someone on your team to do something, or, you know, to recommend retail, or to rebook the client, and they have the conversation, then you go away and they don't do it, and nothing changes. So action is the key. And so when we go just into today, and what's our action and what are we going to do today? And if we just action something today, and even if you're feeling like you're in Shitsville and the only thing you action is don't time travel and get into bed early, that's good. That's a win, right? So on the shittiest of days, you must still take action. Small, medium, large, up to you. And we all have days when we think, bing, 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 it's all working. And you have the days and you think, mate, today's a disaster. You think, no, the last 15 minutes were a disaster. So what we say is really important. You know, like Simon said something the other day, and he said, oh, everything turned to shit. Today I've just having the shit day. I said, it's 11 a.m. How could you make that decision? Right? So we all forget, don't we? And we all go, right, the day's finished, turned to shit. You think, no, I've had a shit morning. When's at 12 o'clock, because I'm going to have a great afternoon. So what we tell ourselves is true. And what we need to do is take small steps, right? Some of you have done remarkably well in the shortest amount of time, and I'm just blown away. And others are still a bit on the sideline. They're still, and they don't have time, and they're non-believers, and they poke their toe in. They're a bit unconscious about what they aren't competent in, but they're also not willing to step forward. So that's a you piece, right? Everybody gets the same knowledge, but some people go, I'm ready to believe now. I'm here. So I think it's just a really good idea to check in with yourself and go, how much am I stepping into it? Because what happens is once you start to get into the program and you start to show up to the meetings and you learn things and you think, mate, there is so much I don't know. And that can be a bit wobbly. And some of you experience that. And someone asked me the other day, they said, when will I get there? Like, does it ever get any easier? And I said, well, that's actually a good stage because now you are conscious that you've been incompetent. And that's a good thing. Right? At first, you're not aware of what you don't know. And then you become aware of what you don't know. And even though that feels uncomfortable, it's a really powerful place. Right? So when you do the health check and you think, wow, didn't know that, this is shit. And then you can feel quite, like, wow. And I think, no, this is good. This is good because now you're conscious of where you need to work. Is that resonating with anyone? Does that make sense to someone? Yeah, Jack's nodding. The girls are nodding. Yeah. How are you, Aubrey? Very good. From way over there in sunny America. Nice to have you. Welcome. So it's really important to just acknowledge that you're amazing. Like, the fact that you're here is just so amazing for me. It's just like, of all the things that had to line up for you to bump into me on socials or wherever and you end up in this room is just incredible. And so I don't take that privilege lightly. Today, I want to share something with you that I think will be really helpful because I want to do an example with, and I thought maybe Mel or Sam, a beauty girl. I want to take them through what I call the moisture triangle, right? So the moisture triangle is talking to them about their hair because I know they're skin girls, not hair. And then I want to talk to a hair girl about her skin. Right? Because, and I'm not going to be as good at the skin one because I was a hairdresser and not a beauty therapist, but I still have a really simple structure, which is called the moisture triangle. And it's just a really lovely way to have an open conversation with the client. So is that something that you would like to do? Is that something you feel brave enough to do? I'll ask you some questions. Good. Okay. So we can draw a triangle, right? And we could do that, but we don't need to. And for this sake, I won't, only because I'll do it in the way that if I was talking to a salon client, that I probably wouldn't draw a triangle, right? But then afterwards, I'm going to show you and unpack it. So Jess might be really clever and go find the moisture triangle for me. Doesn't matter if it's hair or beauty, and get it ready, and I'll share it on the screen after. So I want you to experience like a client would experience, right? Now, in the salon, when I used to use this, I actually did draw it because I'm a drawer, I like to draw. So if you want to unmute yourself, Sam, and I'll just take you through what I think's the moisture triangle. So I'm a hairdresser, Lisa hairdresser today. Hello, Sam. How are you? Lovely to see you.
Yep. Oh, no. Other one.
They're twins for anyone who thinks I'm hopeless. I am, but that's okay.
That's okay.
So, Mel, I was thinking about your hair today, and I've just done some training with my product company rep, and she shared me this little tool that I think is really cool, and that she called it the moisture triangle. And so if we think of our hair value as a triangle, there's 3 points, right? And so if we address those 3 points, we get the most out of our hair, right? We kind of get that Kim Kardashian shine. So when you think about your hair, Mel, what's the thing that you'd like to be different or better or something? Like, is it grow faster, be shinier, more bounce? What are the things that you think, oh, my hair could do that, I'd be happy?
Oh, my hair's quite oily, but also frizzy at the same time.
Okay. Yep.
It
Good.
could just be like smooth and look fresh.
Yes. Days of our lives, I'll say. Like, just flick it. I'm looking for that. Right. So one of the things that's really important, and I think that salons don't do as well, and it's something that I've learned, is there's 3 places that we really need to look at the moisture in our hair. So the moisture is perhaps there's too much moisture or natural oils at the roots. Would that be where it's oily for you at the roots, closer to your head? Yeah, okay. And then there's the ends, which are a bit cooked, fried, sun damaged or whatever. So because your hair's about here, long, yeah?
Yeah,
Yep. So the hair that comes through your hair, it grows about 1.5 centimeters. So in a year, it grows that much. So if this hair's this long, that's 1 to probably 3 years old. So you've been washing that hair for 3 years. So that's why it can be problematic and that, because it's frizzy. Whereas this hair up here is probably, this is 6 months old, this is 12 months old. So you can see that in time, this is what happens. The other thing that happens is the oil from your scalp is what can make it oily, right? The natural oils. That's what I'd be suggesting. So can I just check, what do you use at home? What's the brand of product? Or is it someone that a salon prescribed, or something that you chose yourself from wasn't prescribed?
TikTok, or like from Instagram, one of those
Yeah,
ones.
okay. Yeah, that's right. And this disappoints me, because I would imagine that you do go to a salon. Do you go to a hair salon, have your hair cut?
I've recently just moved salons. So I'm just kind of finding the right one, because my other one, kind of seeing you, made me feel a bit like she's not doing the whole service. She's not giving me what I'm paying for. And so I'm moving. So
Excellent. So what's disappointing to me is that hairdressers and beauty therapists don't always do their job. They're busy being friendly and making you feel comfortable and talking about TikTok and shit like that. And their job is to make sure you get your needs met. So the first place is, what I want to do today is I'm going to talk to you about what I think is the best. So what's happening probably is the frequency of shampoo. How often do you shampoo your hair, Mel?
every 2 to 3 days, depending. But yeah, I try for 3.
Try for 3. Yep, good. Less is often better. And do you do 2 shampoos, or do you do 1?
Yeah, 2.
2. Okay, really important, because the first one like loosens the natural oils, and the second one, the shampoo, actually adds moisture. And then the conditioner, is it something you put on here, or do you just put it on here?
Like on the ends.
Yeah,
Just on the ends. Leave about like this much of hair at the top, kind of all the way around.
Yep, even lower, just go down there, right?
Okay.
It's quite often when you do it here, it'll still end up there, because under there is your skin, right? So if you do the bit that's nowhere near your skin, I say ponytail down. So grab your ponytail and go down, right? So that might be something. So all these little things kind of help. But the first part we look at is, what are you using in your everyday stuff? And then we've addressed that. So what I'm going to do is give you a sample of what I believe you should use, because a really good product is absolutely priceless. Like, what are we talking? 20, 30 bucks tops. That's it, right? And if it does the job, it's brilliant. But if it doesn't, it's a waste of 30 bucks. And I'd rather spend 30 bucks on a mocktail, something else, right? If you save 30 bucks twice, there's a pair of shoes if you're clever. So I don't want you to waste your money. And that's why I'm going to give you a sample today. So that's the first part we're going to address here. So sometimes people don't actually need so much of a conditioner. They need a leave-in, right? So the next part of the triangle is, what do you do after you get out of the shower? So we've got what happens in the shower. The next part is, what do we do when we get out? So there can be leave-in moisturizers, there can be hairspray, it can be styling aids, it can be all sorts of things, right? So that's what we want to do. So what do you do when you get out? Is there something that you put in?
I use a heat protectant.
Good girl.
Spray heat protectant when I blow dry my hair.
Excellent.
And then I have one of those brush blow dry ones and just blow dry it.
Oh, yeah, good. And that's the only thing afterwards, the heat protector?
Yeah. Just the heat protector.
Yeah, so there's lots of other things there, and that'll be something I'll help you with today too. Like there's serums, I believe the leave-in moisture is the best, because the one you use in the shower, it's in your, a minute, 3, it's gone, right? So I think we can improve there as well, right? So we've got somewhere to improve. We'll start here, and then we've got something to leave in. So I've got probably a sample of a really lovely leave-in moisturiser I'll help you with. And then the third part, which is really where the magic happens, is, have you ever had like a deep conditioning treatment in the salon? Something that, no, and this is really sad, right? Really sad. It's just game changing, right? Now, I thought in my early days that maybe it was just a way to make money in the salon, and that's the truth. I did. And so I didn't really want people to have that, because I thought, kind of taking money off them, and I didn't feel genuine. And it wasn't until products started to change, and later in my career, I thought, look at that. That's amazing. Like, I can't believe that this person's hair has changed because of what I did in this. Like, this is heavy duty shit. This is stuff we don't let you have, right? It's got to be prescribed by a hairdresser, applied well, correctly, timed, all of those things. But there is the big guns. And that is going to change your life. What goes on, right? So they're the 3 points. And what I'm really disappointed is that, how old are you, Mel?
30.
Yeah. So you got to 30 without someone giving you a really good
Never.
Yeah. Sad.
No one has ever tried to sell me or one salon has tried to sell me a product. I did buy it too. I was quite happy. It was when I had my extensions. They were great. And then, but never has anyone ever given me a treatment or offered me a treatment or anything.
Yeah. And that's because often the hairdresser doesn't recommend. I hate the word sell. I say, don't sell, just tell them, let them choose. Now, you'll notice that what I've done is I didn't sell her anything. I offered her a sample and I said, I'm going to take over. Now, I might have been looking after her hair for 6 years or something, but I owned up to the fact that I did a training that taught me something and I want to share it with you. Right? So it's always a good time to do this. So when we have a conversation with people that's really open and transparent like that, everyone wins, yeah? So she feels loved and nurtured. I feel really proud because I'm doing my job. And I know that this connection with us is really strong. So if I was your hairdresser and that's what I told you once we started, honestly, how do you feel? Did you feel I sold to you? Did you, be honest, if you felt I did, tell me.
No, my next question would be, okay, can I have the product and when can I have my treatment? That would be my next question.
Yeah, and it's quite easy to recommend to another caregiver because we are caregivers because you get it. Right. So it might not be as easy to do that to an accountant, maybe, I don't know. But I just think if you just do that every time, you'll just be blown away at the connection that you make with your clients. Fascinating, and I call it do your job, dickhead. That's it. Just do your job, dickhead, right? And I just say that because I make light of it, but it's true. So when you put your ego aside and when you truly care about serving the client in front of you and be honest and you don't have to, well, today I'm selling you. It's not like that. Just do your job, right? So does anybody want to make comment or something? And then I'll do your beauty one. Anybody?
I just want to say something really quickly. This doing this the whole Zing project has made me hate my hairdresser.
I was just saying that I moved hairdressers because she doesn't do anything.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Hate's a strong word.
I don't hate it.
Made you realize she wasn't doing her job. Yeah.
Because I kept coming to her with problems and then she wouldn't do anything. She would just like, oh, just try brushing it more. And I was like, I want to fix it.
That's the world over, isn't it? It's the same when you go to a GP and you think, mate, like, why are you Googling this? Or why do I have to come in with stuff? It's in a lot of places. And this is what's really lovely, that what I teach is just to be honest and own up to the fact that in the world that we were raised, the hairdressing and beauty world, we're often not told in such an honest way. Like reps want us to sell shit so they make money and we just, and we're just lost. And it's bullshit. Just do your job, dickhead, is what I say to everybody, And so you have to be brave, though, because you might come across someone who says, are you selling me something? And you go, no, I'm not selling you anything. I just want to let you know what your options are, and I'm really happy if you do. Like, you've got to be ready for the odd one. It happens almost never, but I just felt like I had to learn this. When I opened a salon, I didn't have products. I didn't want to dust them, like terrible. And so in my books, I just tell my honest story and people are really drawn to it. So, and if you're not, and you know what, in all the years, one hairdresser, she read the book and she said, there's a problem here, Lisa. And I said, oh, okay, this is interesting. Feeling really like, oh, I'm so sensitive because I put all my heart and soul into my first book, The Naked Salon. And I thought, like, I was being really honest and I thought, I don't know how people are going to receive it. And she said, we'll have to fucking do our jobs. I said, yes. Simply Irresistible, I think was the song. Anyway, so I just thought I'd talk to you today about your skin. Jack, what is it? What if I could fix one thing with your skin, right? What would you like? Do you find your skin scratchy, dry, blackheads? Like, what's your challenge with your skin, do you reckon, Jack?
Probably open pores on my nose and getting wrinkly in the neck.
Yes, okay. Getting wrinkly in the neck. Hands up for those. I'm one of those. And open pores on your nose. Yes, I do too. And I also get them. Yeah, I have quite a few open pores actually. So I do appreciate that. So most skin things come under three, what I call a triangle, like three corners. So there's the things that will make our skin, I'd say, back to where it needs to be. So there's a lot of belief today that we need to be peeling and sanding back our house. You know, I'd say I'd go into a salon, they'd sand back my house like it's a weatherboard house, and they'd get off all the dry bits and do that, like they get the power tools out. And I think there is a lot of value in that, but I also think it's about the integrity of the skin. It's about the skin being able to repair itself. And so when we don't look after our skin well, but we come in and have our house sanded back, as in a peel or, you know, the lasers and all that, and then we burn the hell out of it, which fascinates me because they say, don't go in the sun, don't go in the sun. They're coming here and I'll burn the crap out of you. So there's a lot of things. This is probably not a beauty therapist version, but I'm doing my best, girls, right? So this is more of a girlfriend to girlfriend. So what I find really interesting is when I learnt about how to look after my skin in an ongoing, consistent, gentle way, my skin changed. And what there's three parts. It's like a triangle. So there's three parts to looking after your skin. The first part is, I want to check with you, Jack, what do you use day to day? Like a cleanser, night cream, you know, those kind of, how do you wash your skin? And do you take your makeup off at night?
Yes to all. So I take my makeup off in the afternoon. I use organic spa skincare from Amelia's salon, and I exfoliate with a light exfoliation probably 2 times a week.
No, you're good. You're good.
I am very
Yeah, and what I can sense is that you've been cared for, and that's really nice, right? Because lots aren't, you know, and some people use, you know, things from the supermarket. I remember when I first changed from, I think it was Pond's cleanser, which I liked, to a real cleanser, I thought, wow, this is clean. Like it's fucking clean. Whereas I didn't know. And so not knowing and not using the right products is not a good idea, right? So there is, you know, I grew up with a mum using Oil of Ulan, and that was it. So that's all she used, you know, and she had huge blackheads on her nose, which she didn't care or see. I don't know. She just didn't. And so I grew up in a family where we washed our face with a face washer and soap. That's just what we did, right? So I reckon I was probably 40 before I started to look after my skin. And having someone care for you like that is just beautiful. So when you see her, tell her I said thank you. So that's the first part, right? Then the next part is what we do after. Like there's the daily routine and then what we do after. So after would be sunscreen. After would be the vitamins. I say there's a whole alphabet on my face, A, B, C. I don't know if there's a D, but I've got the whole alphabet on my face. And they're really important to make sure that we keep the turnover of skin cells and things like that, right? So that's really important. And what you did mention, which I love, was twice a week you use the gritty one and you do that. That's really important. And so that's like an after, I think. So that's the top of the triangle. Now, when you have that, do you have A's and retinols and do you have all of those things? Has Amelia helped you with all of those type things? Yep.
I have an A serum. I also use rosehip oil, and there's another serum that I have no idea what it is. Yes.
Yeah, fancy. Yeah, really good. And so someone who really cares for you, they even have things like little stickers and they'll put on AM, PM, or they'll put AM daily or AM twice a week. And it's so helpful, right? So that's the kind of salon you want to be in because they're really looking after you. So if it's me, I'm forgetting I'm the beauty therapist here. So what I've got is what I'll give you today is some stickers. So what you can do is you can go home and the ones that you already have, let's put AMs, PMs and things so that you're really clean. So having that routine. One of the things that's really important is don't put them away. Leave them on the bench. You know, people put them away and then they miss them. So consistency is really key when it comes to the A's and the B's and the vitamin C's and all that stuff. So really good. Making sure that you're not overusing them. You know, making sure that you're just using the right amount because 2 pumps is a waste. That means it's going to last you half as long. So 1 pump on wet fingers is really good to spread it. So lots of tips I'll help you along the way. But the next part, which is really important and I think is where the game changes. And that's what you have done in the sanding of the house, right? And that's where I believe every woman needs a program going forward. right? So what we don't do is, oh, piece of shit, what am I going to do? Ring, can I get in? Oh, I can't get in for a week. Doesn't matter. I'll call you back. And then it doesn't happen. And I think sometimes the consistency with the cleansing is good, the consistency with the A, B, and C, but the consistency here is not good, right? So what I think a really good salon like mine, I forget I'm the beauty therapist, what I'd like to do today is talk about an ongoing plan for you, because having one microdermabrasion or one peel randomly when you feel like I've got a wedding coming up isn't a good plan. Right? What's really important is that we make a package for you and we look towards your future. That way it's a set and forget. You can set and forget as well. And the other thing that we can offer you today is we can make that plan for you, and maybe it has 3 microdermabrasions and 2 peels and something else, a hydro, whatever. H2O, I don't know, I'm trying to be beauty therapist here. And what we can do is we can add that together. That's a 12 months plan. And then it might be as little as paying $50 a week direct debit, something like that, or a month. And then you just do it. And what will happen is when you're here, you make your next call and it's done. And that way I know no matter what's going down in your life, your skin is going to be consistent. And that's what's really important. And what's really lovely is at your age, Jack, it's time. I wished everyone would do this at 25, and I wished I did. And I started my daughter when I learned I was 40 something. And so that would have made Tess, she's 23 years younger than me. And she said, wow, Mum, I'm so ahead of my friends. She has no hair under her arms, no hair, because I lasered it all off when I got mine lasered off. I helped her with her skin, and she said, Mum, I see sometimes when your girlfriends say that the shit they bring that they think are beauty products, and they're buying stuff on TikTok here and there and nothing matches and plans. And she said, I'm just so grateful that you talked to me when I was young. I said, yeah, why wouldn't I? I love you to death, right? So how does that make you feel, Jack? When you come in, have you had heavy duty beauty? That's what I call it, heavy duty beauty. Have you had that? Yep.
Yep, love it.
And do you have an ongoing plan, or is it when you think you need something?
I need to make an ongoing plan, and I've been meaning to book in with the girls because I've got nearly a week off to do some self-care in 2 weeks' time. So that's going to be one of the things. But when shit went south in the salon early this year, no, I've not done anything for myself like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's time. Yeah,
Yep.
it's time. And those things are just going to make you feel lovely, which you deserve. You to think about how many people you help in a week. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I need a text message when you've made your plan, love, because it's really important. And what's lovely about talking to Jackie is I actually know she's not in the room, but she's a client here, but she's doing her job. She's doing her job. What I would say maybe to Amelia is that when Jackie slipped away, when it turned to shit, she should have probably pulled her in a bit closer and said, no, Jack, no, we're doing this, right? And so that's a bit like you guys. When it turns to shit, I don't go, oh, well, she ran away. I go, no, come in here. And you would have all had a tap on the shoulder from me at times going, no, don't run away. Come this way. Does that make sense? Because that shows how much you care about someone. How did that feel? Does anyone want to comment on that? Or how'd you feel, Jack? Do you feel like you're pleased to have Amelia looking after you? And the only one that let you down was you running away because of run out of a burning house like this, and it's difficult to pull a woman back who's running out of a burning house with her arms in the air, it's not easy. And Amelia was probably running out of the same house with her arms in the air. So, she's a kindred spirit, that one. I think she's got ADHD written on her forehead too, poor love. So is Jack. Who cares? A superpower. So how does that make you think? Anyone want to share what they thought? What do you think, Kaz? What did you think about that moisture triangle? Without me drawing it, did you feel like you got a visual?
I do. I wrote some notes down, highlighted some points, and I actually am really looking forward to the visual now, just so it sinks in a little bit more.